It's a story that has almost completely been forgotten. The story of the remarkable escape of a young Indian Air Force pilot who was shot down in 1965. As India celebrates 50 years of the 65 Indo-Pak War, this is the story of Dara Feroz Chinoy, then a young flying officer. For more than 50 years, this gentleman, Group Captain Dara Feroz Chinoy, has cheated death. Shot down behind enemy lines in the 65 war, he went on to eject from Indian Air Force fighter jets on 2 other occasions and live to tell the story. Commissioned into the IAF in 1963, Chinoy, a young fighter pilot flying French-built Mystère fighter bombers, was tasked to strike an artillery gun position in the Philora sector, just inside Pakistan, when this happened.
Well, as we pulled up for the attack on the gun position, which we had already spotted in our earlier mission, I felt a solid thud at the bottom of my aircraft. ACAC anti-aircraft shell had exploded into my engine, and the engine flamed out. The aircraft was on fire. There was smoke and flames in the cockpit. I could not see anything. I jettisoned the canopy and found that my engine had flamed out and my aircraft was on fire, as indicated by the fire warning light, smoke and flames in the cockpit. So I had to eject almost over the gun position. As I landed, managed to escape from the bullets of rifle fire. They were shouting and screaming, saying "Maro" and abusive language too, and they chased me in jeeps and jongas and on foot. But fortunately, the crops those days were not being attended to, and the grass was tall. It was a sugarcane field.
Thirsty and exhausted, Chinoy managed to swim across canals and eventually hot-footed back to India under the cover of darkness, only to face another danger. India's own soldiers, who thought he was a spy and had him kneeling at gunpoint with his hands raised.
Well, after a lot of questioning, I established the fact that I'm Flying Officer Chinoy from Adampur Station, because the questioning officer was related to one of the Air Force officers in my squadron.
Dara Chinoy's nephew, who persuaded his uncle to reveal the story, which has almost completely been forgotten, says he laughed when he saw the Hollywood film Behind Enemy Lines.
Every pilot, they go through a survival course. So he followed that to the T. And the first thing that he told that when he was shot down was to avoid being captured by sniffer dogs or whatever they had. He had mud rubbed all over to throw off the scent. And he traveled by night to avoid, being captured.
Chinoy ejected the first time from a French Ouragan fighter when he was a flying cadet after the jet developed technical problems. He eventually retired as a group captain in the IAF, but not before he had ejected a third time. In 1987, his MiG-21 suffered a bird hit. But Chinoy's love for aviation never ended. He ended up logging several thousand more hours as a civilian pilot working for the Tatas and the Ambanis. With Mrinali Fernandez, Vishnu Shom for NDTV.